Okay, let's get right into it. Today, we're plunging into a challenge pretty much every business is wrestling with. Not just handling the sheer volume of data, but actually using it effectively. Turning that data tsunami into smarter, faster decisions.
Precisely. And the ability to gain meaningful insights from your data isn't really a luxury anymore, is it? It's fundamental to staying competitive.
And a key player in making that happen is Power BI. Our deep dive today is specifically focused on this powerful tool, drawing insights from the material we've been studying.
Right. Our mission here is to really uncover the why and the how behind integrating Power BI, especially when you might already have an existing business intelligence setup in place. It's about understanding how this integration can fundamentally shift how you analyze data and, well, make decisions.
So you might be listening and thinking, but we already have a BI system, you know? We have data warehouses, ETL processes, reports we've been running for years. The source material anticipates that, acknowledging you're probably not starting from scratch.
And that's where the core insight lies, I think. The analysis shows that adding Power BI isn't about replacing everything you have, but about creating a powerful synergy. It's like a strategic layer that enhances your existing data infrastructure in ways traditional BI tools often struggle to do on their own.
Okay, so what are the compelling reasons the analysis lays out for making this move? What's the tangible upside of bolting Power BI onto your existing BI engine?
Well, the first major benefit the material highlights is the significant leap in advanced visualization capabilities. Look, your current BI might give you charts, sure, but Power BI brings a level of richness, interactivity, and customizability, things like dynamic heat maps, complex trend lines, highly responsive filters that can transform static reports into truly engaging dashboards.
Hmm.
When you layer this on top of your existing well-structured data, you empower users to explore that data visually in ways they simply couldn't before. They often spot trends or outliers much faster.
That makes sense. It's not just getting data out, but making it tell a story visually that everyone can grasp quickly.
Hmm.
What else becomes easier or better?
The material points strongly to seamless data connectivity. Your existing BI setup likely connects to your core data sources naturally, but Power BI has built-in, easy-to-use connectors for literally hundreds of sources, from common databases like SQL Server and Oracle to cloud platforms like Azure and Salesforce, even simple Excel files or web services.
Wow, hundreds.
Yeah, and the key insight here is that it allows you to easily bring in data from sources your existing BI system might not connect to easily or might require complex ETL for. And you can combine it with your core data without disrupting your backend systems.
So you could quickly pull in that departmental spreadsheet or that new SaaS tools data and like marry it with your enterprise data warehouse all within Power BI. That sounds incredibly flexible.
Exactly. It helps break down those smaller data silos right at the analysis layer without needing massive IT projects on the back end. And this ease of bringing diverse data together directly feeds us to the next benefit the material mentions: improved collaboration.
Okay.
The analysis explains how Power BI's service and its integration with tools like Microsoft Teams or SharePoint make it simple for teams across the organization to access, interact with, and share these integrated reports securely. So everyone is looking at the same version of the truth.
Yeah.
Derived from all those combined sources you just connected, it fosters much better data-driven discussions.
Right. Getting everyone on the same page with the right data that makes decision making so much more efficient.
Yeah.
And once you've built these reports, keeping them current is always key, isn't it?
Yeah, absolutely. And that's where automated data refresh comes in. The reports highlight that you can set up scheduled refreshes, pulling the latest data from your connected sources automatically.
Ah,
This means the integrated dashboards your teams are using are constantly updated, giving them access to near real-time insights powered by your entire data ecosystem without all that manual effort.
so you're not working off stale data. You have a living view. And finally, the material mentions growth, scalability.
Yes, the aspect of scalability. The infrastructure is designed to scale with your business. So as your data volume grows, as you add more users across different departments, and as your analytical needs become more complex, Power BI scales to handle that increasing demand, building upon the solid foundation of your existing data systems.
Okay, those are some really compelling reasons why integrating makes strategic sense, enhancing visuals, connecting data more broadly, boosting collaboration, ensuring data is fresh, and scaling as you grow. That covers the why. Now let's look at the how. The material outlines a general approach, right? Not a rigid formula, but steps.
It does, yeah. It provides a framework that, can be adapted. The first step is always to connect to your data source. This means using Power BI Desktop or the service to establish links. Crucially, this includes connecting to your existing data warehouse or databases, as well as any new sources you want to bring in, like those cloud apps or flat files we mentioned earlier.
So it's pointing Power BI at both the established data foundation and the potentially newer scattered data points.
Got it. What's the critical step after getting connected?
Then you clean and model your data. This involves using Power BI's Power Query Editor and the modeling view. It's where you transform the raw data, define relationships between data tables from your different sources, maybe create calculated columns or measures. This is really where you build that unified, understandable data model that sits on top of your diverse sources.
Right, this is where you make the potentially messy integrated data actually ready for analysis, and once it's modeled properly. You then create reports and dashboards. This is where you leverage those advanced visualization capabilities we talked about earlier. You're building interactive visuals that focus on the KPIs, trends, and metrics most important to your business, drawing from that combined data model you just created.
Bringing the data to life visually, and then sharing those insights, getting them out there.
Exactly. You publish and share your creations. You upload the reports and dashboards to the Power BI service, making them accessible. From there, you can distribute them to specific teams, maybe create apps for broader consumption, or even embed them into internal business applications or portals. The goal is ensuring the integrated insights reach the right audience.
Making those integrated views easily consumable. Okay. And the final piece of the puzzle in this general approach seems like a big one.
Setup, security, and access. Absolutely paramount. The material really stresses managing who can see what data and reports. This is done using features like integration with Azure Active Directory for user authentication, defining row-level security RLS rules to restrict data visibility based on user roles, and assigning workspace roles to control access to content and data models.
Okay, so connect the sources, model the integrated view, visualize it, share it, and secure it. That paints a pretty clear picture of the process. The course material also provides a specific scenario to make this really concrete, doesn't it? A use case.
It does, yeah. It describes a retail company that was struggling with data spread across a legacy system, a SQL Server database, and a separate CRM. Pretty common situation, actually valuable data locked in different places.
Right, classic data island. So what was the tangible outcome when they integrated Power BI on top of that existing mix? What changed?
Well, the analysis shows they gained the ability to track real-time sales performance from the legacy system, customer behavior insights from the CRM, and stock levels from SQL Server, all consolidated into interactive dashboards. They finally had a single integrated view of their key operational data, like a single pane of glass, if you will.
Wow. Having all those pieces visible together instantly, that was have completely changed their perspective, yeah.
It did. The impact described is significant. Managers could make much faster decisions because they weren't waiting for disparate reports to be cobbled together. And executives could plan strategic initiatives based on visual, integrated insights rather than trying to, manually combine data from different spreadsheets or systems. It demonstrates how bringing these existing data pieces together visually in one place really unleashes new potential.
That example really highlights the synergy you mentioned earlier, taking existing assets, making them way more valuable together. Now, anytime we talk about centralizing and sharing data like this, security is front and center. People get nervous. The analysis is clear on this point.
It is, and it provides strong reassurance, which is important. The material confirms that Power BI is built with enterprise-grade security features baked in.
Which specific features does it call out, just to reassure people?
It mentions Azure Active Directory integration for robust user management, data encryption, both at rest and in transit to protect the information itself, and the role-based access controls we discussed earlier, like RLS, to ensure people only see the data they are authorized to see.
Okay.
So the message is pretty clear. Your integrated data remains secure while being made accessible, appropriately accessible to those who need it.
That's good to know. Enabling access doesn't mean compromising safety. So looking at the bigger picture now, beyond the technical steps, it really sounds like integrating Power BI with existing BI is a more profound shift than just adding another reporting tool.
That's precisely what the source material emphasizes. It's fundamentally a strategic move. It's about transforming how the business interacts with its data. By making integrated insights highly visual and accessible, ultimately driving better decision-making and, empowering teams across the organization.
It's about unlocking the hidden potential within the data you already possess, by giving it a powerful new interface and connectivity layer.
Exactly. Well put.
This deep dive into integrating Power BI based on our source material has been incredibly illuminating. Before we wrap up, here's a thought perhaps for you, the listener, to carry forward.
Consider the different data sources that are crucial to your work or your business. The ones that feel disconnected or maybe hard to combine right now.
Think about what insights might be lying dormant in the spaces between those data sources, and consider how bringing them together into a single interactive visual exploration layer could fundamentally change the questions you can ask and the discoveries you might just make.